And welcome to the Frankie and Ding Dong Show presents Fridays with Frankie. We're here again with you live at the broadcast studio. I am Frankie Avalon. I'm here with my best friend and co-host King Ding Dong, and we're here to bring you another exciting evening of recapping bowling in the state of Maine, across the country. Anytime we get information coming into us, we're here for you, the amateur bowlers for the amateur bowlers, but we also love our pros and we love the best in the world, and we love all of our bowlers that really kind of hang out and watch us and interact with us and all kinds of good stuff. So
yeah, and on that note, interaction is a big part of what he said. So if you guys are out there watching, go ahead and interact with us here in the comments, either live on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, or on our Twitch feed. And share it up so that way you can get more people in here. We love having great discussions with you guys, the bowlers. And again, that's why we're here, for you guys, the bowlers.
Yeah, we dig it. We're here to kind of give our thoughts on different things going around the state and around the country with the state of bowling right now. We covered a lot of stuff last week. We're going to cover more stuff this week. We have our first shout out. We haven't even gotten to high score shout outs. Before we get to high score shout outs.
Yeah.
We have Mallory Clark, PWBA star, coming in.
Oh,
shout out to Master Splinter. Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday to Master Splinter, yes, Jimmy Clark, owner of Bowler Builders Pro Shops. One of our boys. We love Master Splinter.
Absolutely.
And really cool. Thank you very much, Mallory, for bringing that up. And happy birthday, Master Splinter. I saw him tonight for a quick minute, gave him a big hug and said, rock on, brother. Have a great birthday. So
yeah,
pretty cool. So way to bring that, bring the heat right out of the gate. First 2 minutes into the show.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
And what is he? He's turning 29 again, like we all do.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all 29 again, all the time. Absolutely.
So, hey, keep rocking it, Splinter. You've been rolling it really good lately. So
for sure.
Keep rocking it in the next year of your life, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, by the way, thanks Sunday at the tournament for only shooting 246. So I last game to my 250 so I can take a high game pot.
Gotta sneak out money anyway you can.
Anyway you can. It's the only way I was sneaking out money. Yeah. All right, so let's get right to it. High score shout-outs tonight. We are going with Augusta had some big numbers this week.
Before we get to Augusta, though, I got to give it to my boy right beside us Wednesday night.
Oh, yes.
Couch.
With coming in hot with the old Columbia Bud, too.
Yeah.
Couch, rock on, brother.
Nothing against the rest of the guys, but Couch, you're our boy. And you were the pair right next to us, and you did it with a ball that's, older than most bowlers that are in the center.
Yeah, I wasn't there. If anyone, a lot of my friends already know, I fell on some ice Monday and kind of hurt my hip and been out of commission for the week. But with some physical therapy, had some x-rays, and
hopefully on the mend.
On the mend, feeling a lot better now. And hopefully going to be back bowling Tuesday is my target date to get back bowling boat bowl on Tuesday night. If it works out, if not, I'll just take another week off. And, we got a lot of tournaments coming up. So just glad it happened after the Sunday tournament, not before last Sunday's tournament.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah. But it did kind of suck missing bowling this week, watching everyone kind of roll and not being there for my team. And that's a bummer. But, on the mend, and, we're heading out there. So, Couch, congratulations, 300. There was another 300 on Wednesday night too, right?
Yes. There's Roger. Geez, what's his last name? I want to say Sandberg for some reason.
So it was another
Roger. Yes, Roger. It was his first 300 though.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. So
okay.
Wednesday night we bowl.
Is he an older guy or
younger guy? The guy with the glasses. He might be a no thumb. Kind of shovels it a little bit.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
He bowls on that team that we bowled against last week. The last week that you were there. Remember, there was the chick with the Defender hybrid who actually rolls it pretty good.
Yes.
The Roger guy gets on it real hard.
Yes, I do know you're talking. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
congratulations
it was his first
to him.
300, so it was pretty cool. Now, so Spare Time Portland, Frankie and I at BC Bowlers, we took our team there this year. This is how interesting it was of a night.
Sandberg is his last name.
It was Sandberg, so I was right. 2 300s that we saw, and also 2 lily pads, dude.
Yeah,
throughout the league on that same Wednesday night. Is that crazy?
That's $20 a piece, by the way.
Yeah. So and then so last night in Augusta, continuing the high score shout
Nick Furrow 800.
Nick Furrow, his first 800.
First 800. Congratulations to Nick Furrow.
Awesome.
So Nick did pretty well. So that's awesome. Let's see him get his first one.
Yeah. And then John Votto shot 300.
And then there's another 300 too, right?
Yes. We just came up with his name out there too.
All right, maybe if QDD is still watching, she knows the other guy that shot it. I know who it is too. She mentioned the name, and I knew exactly what she was talking about.
Yeah, and I talked to him too.
So, anyways, there was 2 300s in Augusta last night.
Yeah. So and
2 on Wednesday night in Portland. So I mean, there's like some honor scores like coming in hot and heavy this week.
Right. And I was talking to Rolling Thunder and Dr. Krankenstein, and he said that the numbers haven't been very good on Thursdays up there this year.
Okay.
And we stopped in to sell some of the raffle tickets for the high school team, Bayside High Rollers.
Yeah, for sure.
And man, there's 2 300s, 800 set.
Clayton Benshaw is what she said?
Crenshaw.
That's
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So awesome,
well done, guys.
Awesome,
great job
there.
Look at Mallory coming in, busting my balls here. She says, "Clearly, you are not a hockey player who's bowling today, Frankie. Just kidding. Glad you're doing better." It's funny. I've bowled a lot of injuries, some really bad injuries. I bowled actually with a fractured femur on my slide foot for 6 months.
Yeah.
That happened when I jumped into a pool that was more shallow than I thought it was, and cracked my leg. And I bowled on that for a long time. This hip thing, it hurt even worse than that, believe it or not. This has been brutal. So.
Hips suck, yeah. I fell on some ice on some stairs once and broke a couple ribs and bowled with broken ribs. That was not fun. But yeah, so I understand totally.
So she's just giving me a hard time. I love Mallory. So so that's what we have for comments coming in right now. So great job to everyone on the high scores this week. I love seeing that stuff. If anyone knows of anything happened at Just in Time or up at the Bangor Center or Wilton or anywhere else that happened.
There might have been a 300 up in Bangor too. I know that one of my high school players, Ryan, was just in practice. Shot 300
awesome.
There.
Awesome.
But
so anyways, if anyone knows any other high scores, please let us know. We're going to get them right on the air for you. So we really congratulations to everyone that shot some big numbers this week. And so it's pretty cool. So let's see what else we got coming on here. So high score shout outs out of the way. We're going to talk about the recap of the Carl's World Tour 2011 Bevida International Classic short 34-foot pattern recap. Going into the tournament, Hungus and I talked right before the event started, and I told him I thought this would be the highest scoring event of the season. Short patterns that it's actually a short pattern that played a little longer than a short pattern, to be honest with you. And it was only 20.13 mils, but it definitely played heavier than that.
It seemed it.
And longer for whatever reason. But you could get to the gutter if you had kind of the right piece of equipment in your hand. It was just, there was more room inside, than I thought there would be.
Right.
And that's why the scores kind of were a little high. It was the highest score one of the season.
It was,
The cut was plus.
Cut was plus, yeah.
And tournament leader was
plus 100-ish.
Yeah, plus 100 right in that range. So
yeah.
And tournament won
the
by
cut was plus 31.
Plus 31, yeah. And Storm to Vincent beat Crazy Train. Stom beat Crazy Train in the finals. So Storm to Vincent making his way up on the career titles archive list now. I believe that gives Storm a title in all 3 tournament series now.
Yeah.
He's going to be another one that does that.
It doesn't surprise me on a short pattern that Storm would, shine.
Yeah.
He's really, really
such
great
a good player.
Storm, on short. And it was so great to see him. Like you said, you could move in a little bit more than on a lot of short patterns. You still wanted to keep your break point out close to the gutter, but one of my personal things to watch, favorite things to watch, is when Storm moves in and starts twirling it and just gets that slow twirl.
Crazy.
So pretty
like easy shape is what I call it. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But myself, like I just alluded to, took a high game at 250 the last game with an old Columbia U2. I found that I thought urethane would be the play. Actually, a lot of my urethane stuff was too strong and a little too early.
Yeah.
And my purples that I usually use on just about everything, all of them were just a little too much. So
and they kept continuing. That's the thing.
Right. Yeah, they didn't lay off. Normally, I get that. Right. Yeah, the U2 laid off. So I ended up ordering one of those Black Hammer overseas ones. So we're gonna have that in the Arsenal Pro, go like a 5-inch pin on that. Just I can use it for my spares and stuff too, and I can use it. It's basically going to be the problem for me with the U2. Obviously, is number one, people can't order them, and number two, it's 16 pounds, and you feel it, after a while, especially someone who's had multiple wrist and thumb surgeries over the years. So, looking forward to getting that Black Hammer in, and pretty excited for that. And you bowled great. You made the cut, and
Yeah.
that was fun. Short patterns. I know normally short patterns not your jam.
Not my jam normally, no.
But that was a good way to grind it out. You kind of stuck with it all day, stuck to your game plan. That track sensor was just amazing.
Yeah.
Once again for you, and you threw it great. So it was nice to see you make a cut, and I was able to do a little telecasting with some other people, which was fun. So
that's fun. Yeah,
it was a good time.
And that's basically what I did. Was I stuck to the plan. I went in there with the plan, big solid ASIM at the gutter. Figured short pattern.
Yeah, you were using the archetype.
Yeah, and
ball that's
it looked pretty good game one.
It did. Yeah, that kind of almost gives you that hook stop, but it was actually still continuing enough to get the corner pins out.
Right, great. And I figured once I beat up the gutter enough, I could move to the sensor and kind of use it as almost like a springboard and just bounce off of it.
Yeah.
And game two, the archetype just wasn't going through the pins the same way.
For sure. You definitely see they transition quick.
Yeah, really quick. And so I tried the sensor and the fill shot in game two, and I was like, shit, that doesn't look too bad.
Right.
And stuck with that for the duration. Looked pretty good. I was up against Grinding Gaskill, giving away like 21 pins or something, and I needed the second hit in the 10th, and didn't throw it great on lane 5, which doesn't have forgiveness inside. You have to kind of go around lane 5 to find any forgiveness, especially on a short pattern. I mean, it was me. I didn't throw it awesome, so I didn't get the second hit, and Grindem moved on.
For sure.
And but the bonus pins, I agree with him, because it definitely puts a premium on, if you qualify higher than the rest of the field, it actually gives you that bonus. So I'm not dogging on the bonus pins. I like it.
It gives where it's single elimination, that there has to be some kind of advantage to being a higher seed. If it was double elimination, then you probably wouldn't be a big deal. But single elimination, definitely. We may toy around with I always had the format for the mist with the doing the first couple of cuts where you just had to be in the top half of the field with your average.
Like the eliminator style.
Do a couple eliminator rounds and then a step ladder final, which was always fun. Maybe we'll try something like that to be a little different next year. Go back to kind of the old school mist format for a couple of tournaments. You see how it goes. So, but it is fun. Match play is great, and you never know what's going to happen. And congratulations to Crazy Train too. He's knocking on the door of getting his first title. And,
he's been bowling really well.
Well, making a lot of cuts, winning matches. He used a purple hammer all day. That purple hammer.
Making it shape good.
Really good for him. And so congratulations to both bowlers, and obviously congratulations to Stone for winning the title. Adam Lemarese coming in here saying your take on EJ Tackett, early favorite player of the year. We are going to touch on that, Adam, because we have a segment talking about the PBA Shawnee Open. We're definitely going to get to EJ and what he was able to do this week in that segment. So,
well, before we get to that, though, I'd like to extend something a little bit about our tournament series. So, we kind of pride ourselves on making them tough, right?
Absolutely.
So I've had a couple people inquire about, hey, why aren't you re-oiling before match play or something like this? And so I feel that one of the toughest things in bowling is managing transition.
Right.
Honestly. And, it makes it that much harder when you start moving lane to lane and different people that are crossing in front of you and what have you. And I feel that if we're going to have tough tournaments, then I think we should have to manage the entire transition throughout the tournament in order to take home the title. Now, the other side of it is let's face it, we only have 4 games qualifying.
Right.
And then we have maybe 4 rounds. 4 rounds
of match play with only basically,
with a limited field.
With 16 bowlers to start. So you're only going to have 4 bowlers on a pair and then to 2 on a pair. So,
right. So, I mean, there really isn't that much traffic when you compare it to maybe
the PBA Bowl's 8-game block.
8-game block, yeah. Right. So I'd like to see a longer block and have us to manage the transition even more. Because I found it really interesting. They had this little interview with EJ, who, like we said, we'll get to it, running away from the pack. And they were like, what kind of moves did you make? He's like, I made a small move of 5 left. And then he's like, then I made a couple bigger moves. I had to move 10 right. And then I went to another pair and moved 17 left. Yeah. So he's talking about a small move being 5 boards, when here in the amateur world, you tell somebody to move 5 boards and they're like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? But and again, EJ's been bowling amazing lately. Statistically, they say that bowlers when they're in their 30s bowl their best. He just turned 30. And he's talking about a small move being 5 boards, big moves being 10, 15, or 17 boards,
Sure.
So it's just it's a wild thing to think about. So I think that personally for our series, I think managing that transition is a big part of what makes it tough. And like you look at the one ball brawl.
Yeah.
That's what makes that such a hard.
Yeah, there's really no need to re-oil when you have the formats that we have. We like to get bowlers the tournament and match play done at the latest 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the other side of it.
And that way the bowling center, we get qualifying done by 12:30, 1 o'clock at the latest. The bowling center is open the rest of the day for half the center. And then, we basically take the next 2 or 3 hours wrapping up match play. And then they got the whole rest of the afternoon and evening. We get a great tournament in with good payouts. Bowlers are in and out. Guys that are traveling or ladies that are traveling longer distances can get home in a decent hour.
Yeah,
if you re-oil, you're adding, a good 45 minutes to an hour on top of, what you're doing, plus practice, plus all that stuff. So, honestly, with the shorter formats we're doing, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to re-oil. I did 1 year of the Miss. We did some re-oils, and I found that it was just taking way too long for the tournaments and scrapped the idea and really haven't revisited it since and haven't had a need to really. So so that's the recap of that.
Yeah, just because I had gotten a couple people asking about that. So
it's always good. We like the feedback. So for sure, absolutely. So thank you to Brunswick Bowling for providing a raffle ball each tournament. This month was the Defender Hybrid won by Crazy Train. So he's pretty excited about that. So congratulations to Adam Jordan for winning the ball this month. So and thank you to Brunswick Bowling for supporting the tournament series all year long.
Yeah, and so we were talking about that earlier, before the show. Adam's won a couple balls now. But like you said, Frankie, he puts in $20, $25
$25 every month.
So if you're only putting in $5 each time, he's got 4 to 5 times as many chances as you do to win. So obviously, statistically, he's going to have a better chance.
And you figure that leads us to our next segment about Bowler Builders Pro Shops offering free drilling of all the winning raffle balls. So not only you say, yes, do I want to commit $20 or $25 into a raffle? Why not? When you don't have to pay for the ball or the drilling of the ball. You're getting,
$60 right there.
you have a Defender Hybrid, which is a $220 top end ball. You're getting for potentially only $15, $20, $25. I mean, that's a great deal to get one of the best balls on the market. So again, thank you to Bowler Builders. Thank you to Brunswick Bowling. Huge sponsors. Every season, you guys take care of us. We love it, and our bowlers love it as well. So,
absolutely.
We're going to move on to a little bit more serious segment real quick. Rest in peace to Jeanette Fowler, who was a bowler from the Lewiston area, someone I know really well, and Jen York, obviously bowls relative of Jeanette's. And
bowls in the state youth program.
Bowls in the state youth programs. Jeanette, obviously, I've known for quite a long time with me bowling in the area, her bowling in the area, and and my daughter bowling through the youth leagues and stuff. So she's always there for that.
She's a huge youth supporter.
Huge youth supporter, huge bowling supporter. So rest in peace to Jeanette. Our thoughts are out to you and her entire family during this time. And there's a tournament that's going to be in her name coming on March 5th to Just in Time Recreation.
Yep.
And I understand that you have to contact Caleb Burgess, who's setting everything up. So we wanted to get the information out there for that tournament for everyone. And, we're just going to recognize a quick moment of silence for Jeanette real quick on the show. All right. Thank you very much. And again, our thoughts are out to Jeanette's entire family. And please contact Caleb Burgess about more information on that tournament in Jeanette's name.
Yeah, or even just contact Just in Time Recreation.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have the information.
They'll get you the information. I do know I think it's a no-tap. Memorial.
I believe you're right. Yes,
it's going to be a lot of fun, and in the name of, like I said, a huge youth bowling supporter, just in general bowling supporter. So one of our bowling family. So, So if you have nothing going on that day, hey, turn out for a fun event right here in Lewiston, Maine.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. Contact Just in Time or Caleb Burgess or both, and see if you can get more information on that tournament. We hope it goes well for them for sure.
Yeah.
Next subject, Maine High School Bowling State Individuals are tomorrow. So
yes, they are.
Good luck to all participants, and Ding Dong, you will be there. And where is it being held?
So it's going to be in Wilton, Meadow Lanes, Wilton. So doors open at 8 a.m. check-in at 8:30. Bowling start promptly at 9, and it is state individual, so spectators are certainly welcome.
Excellent.
Anthony White runs that center.
Tony, our boy Tony.
He does a great job up there and with the center. Cute little center, very nostalgic. One of the few that we have left that actually show that old school bowling feel, So it's going to be a grind, as you know, Frankie,
for sure,
all too well. All of us bowlers that have bowled in Wilton, I think that's why we have the support from the Wilton guys at our tough tournaments.
They do. They love it. Yeah,
they know what tough bowling is all about, and because Carrie up there can be very fickle, and so it's going to be a grind fest tomorrow for the state high school individual titles, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And now the internet up there can be a little tricky, but I'm going to try to stream as much as I can on our Bayside High Rollers Facebook page.
Make sure you like the page and follow it.
Yeah, sure. And you guys at home that have been watching throughout the season, or maybe haven't, I've been trying to stream as many matches as I can. I wasn't able to stream the match where I was away at Kegel, but I've been streaming the matches this year. Been getting good feedback from that, and so check us out, Bayside High Rollers on Facebook, and you might be able to see some live youth action tomorrow. Yeah,
Adam Jordan says that he will be there. Obviously, the head coach of the
Altered Mayhem
Bowling Team. Excuse me.
Yeah, and Adam Crazy Train. Our good friend, obviously, it was awesome. So here's the deal: we all thought Spare Time Lewiston was going to close, and I was coaching the Altered Mayhem high school team, and I honestly wanted to keep high school bowling alive for these players. So I went and I talked to Charlie. I was like, thinking that Lewiston was going to close. Asked him if he was interested in having a high school team there. He certainly was. Now, Justin and Samantha Jarre, as we know, since have, bought Lewiston and turned it from Spare Time into Just in Time Recreation. Knowing that they weren't going to close, I approached, my good friend Adam, who I know his coaching experience through football and such, and asked him if he would consider taking over the team, and he has, which that's awesome. Because it keeps high school bowling alive for the kids in Lewiston. I can't travel to one of the other teams, which is awesome. So essentially, what we did was we just added a team to the league. So, Adam, I know I don't ever say this enough to you, and I try to, but you taking over that team is so awesome because, we're doing what we can to keep high school bowling alive, and, opportunity for the youth is what it's all about.
Yes, you try to get those youth bowlers to then become lifetime adult bowlers, and that's what grows it even more. So, Adam does say if you have a second tripod, you can try and stream the other side on the Mayhem page so you can get both sides going. So,
okay. All right.
I don't know if you have an extra tripod or not.
I might,
Okay, so we'll let you guys coordinate that. So for sure, that's great.
I think the way it's going to work is we're going to have qualifying all on one side of the building, and then we're going to go to match play on the other side of the building. Okay. I think that's what Rick had said.
But it might not be a bad idea to have a second one just in case they do split it up. That'd be
good. See what I can get together tonight.
Yeah. So Adam says thank you, Ding Dong, about everything.
Yeah.
So all right. So good luck to all the kids bowling tomorrow and all the parents. Be good parents and just chill and let the kids have a good time.
The kids,
just support the kids. Support all the kids.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Support. All right. PBA Shawnee Open Thoughts. We just watched the show here at my place on the big screen and got to watch EJ Tackett, who absolutely crushed this week, the field by over 500 pins.
Over 500 pins he led.
Obviously, we're rooting for our boy El Chapo on there and Arturo, El Nino. And, El Nino made a great run, almost made the top 12. So shout out to El Nino for a great run this week.
He's getting there.
He's heating up. AJ made the first couple of cuts. So, representing. Pretty cool. And, congratulations to EJ Tackett on, 18th title by the age of 30?
Yes, dude.
2 titles this season already?
2 titals.
Easily the early front runner for Player of the Year right now. I know we're only 3 events in, but when you win 67% of the events, that's pretty hard to beat.
And he's been the ones where he's been doing well, he's not just been doing well, he's been like Simoing the field. Like, remember that tournament where Simon was like 600 sticks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what EJ's been doing.
Yeah.
Now, I understand the round robin play brings the 30 bonus pins into play, so it's not actual pins. But man, so, when you're 500 plus pins in the plus, and you could take the last game off, in the position round, and essentially still go in as top seed
by a mile,
that doesn't suck.
So, what are your thoughts about bonus pins? And this, I always love to get people's opinion of this, and I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the show. How do you feel about match play bonus pins? 30 pins is a lot. So to win a match is a lot. So you know, if you could beat a guy 240 to 180, you only just beat him by 60, then you gain the 30. There's 90 pins you gain. So how do you feel about? I mean, it does put an emphasis on wins, which I do like. Like match play should be about winning.
Yep.
It shouldn't be about just kind of going, 8-8 and kind of skating by. If a guy goes 14-2 and picks up 420 pins on the field just in bonus pins. How do you feel about bonus pins? Do you think 30's too much, just right? I think they had tournaments before where they were only giving 15.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, I mean, what do you feel about the 30 bonus pins? And do you like bonus pins or do you not like bonus pins?
30. Okay, so 30 does seem like a lot.
10% of a perfect game, basically.
Yeah, and I know that, so Stu Williams, averaged 225, averaged pretty good this week.
No, he crushed. I mean, he crushed during qualifying.
Yeah, but had a crappy record in round robin.
Right.
And, so he's out all of those pins and, it kind of in over 12 games.
So you figure 12 games of round robin. Say you go 2-10 and some guy just goes 10-2. Well, he's gaining 240 pins on you just in wins.
Right. That's an extra game.
Right.
Yeah. At least. So, in that setting, it's kind of rough. Now, in the way that we do it, if you take your qualifying average and then you go and bonus pins against, who else you go against, then that's cool.
But then after the first round with us, you don't get any bonus pins. It's just straight up head to head and then off you go. So
the only thing is so let's say you have a player who looks really good all week like EJ, and then you got somebody who just barely sneaks into the cut. That guy who just barely sneaks in, he's kind of at a disadvantage already. So you got somebody who has a good look plus the bonus pins. It makes it really hard. But at the same time, if you've had a good look the whole tournament and then you come in and you don't get the bonus pins and then that guy who just squeaked in now squeaks by you, that's kind of like a kick to the dick, I mean,
but you also need to keep the guys, and this is why I always did in the top half of the field for the eliminator rounds, right? So you didn't have to feel like you had to,
beat head to head.
Right, beat the number one seeds just to stay alive,
Right.
So you do need to make the guy who just qualified still feel like he has a chance to win the tournament. Like, you don't want him to just feel like I'm just here to get a paycheck and I'm here to get the top 12 here at the Shawnee Open. The guy in 12th needs to feel like he's not going to just finish in 12th, because, however it is. So, I do like the bonus pins for that. Like, if he can go on a run and figure something out, maybe, or she can figure out, and they can maybe make a run to the show.
Yeah.
I like the bonus pins idea when you have a lot of match play because it does put a premium on wins.
For sure.
So in the tournaments where there's 12, 16 games, 24 of match play, I like it a lot. If you only had 8 games of match play, I'm not as huge of a fan of it. You know what I mean? Just because it's less match play, there's not as much emphasis on the winning. So it's more qualifying score based. So I think in that setting, maybe you just go less bonus pins just because there's fewer games and you're not going to make as big of a dent. So, so I think it has its pluses and its minuses, but I do like just using eliminator rounds and then step ladder finals. I do like the fact that, you're like, oh, well, I'm the last qualifier, but I just need to stay in the top half of the field to still stay alive. I don't feel like I have to be, to beat the number one guy. So it's just interesting.
When we're talking about the PBA season, for instance, I mean, I definitely, so this round robin thing and the 30 bonus sticks, yes, you're right. It definitely gives a premium on winning.
Yeah.
And it's definitely cool and it pushes you to try to get every stick just to win that game.
Right.
Plus, there is a running tally, so it's not like you can just
so it goes to your
throw
overall.
it away
Right.
and, shoot 120 or whatever. So I do like that. However, over a PBA season, I wouldn't like to see that format over the whole season. I'd like to see them mix formats so that way you have some that are round robin and some maybe that are like, total pins, or some maybe that are eliminator, or,
Well, you take like the Masters as a tournament where you bowl basically 15 games and then you go right into match play for literally the rest of the tournament. It's just match straight head-to-head match play, no bonus pins, no nothing. You have a winner's bracket, loser's bracket, double elimination.
Yeah.
So that's a different format. That's fun.
As long as you're mixing it up, so that way, at the professional level, I'd like to see it mixing up, so that way, somebody, it could be like, taking a test. You have somebody who's a good test taker, but can't perform at their job, or you got somebody who can't take a test worth ass, but they're going to be great at their job. You know what I mean? You gotta see both sides of it, so that way you can get the full care, the full potential player. Not to say that EJ isn't the full player.
He's awesome.
He's amazing. But I'd like to see him be challenged in all the different types of formats to prove that he's this year's best player.
Even do that, what is it, the World 10-Pin Federation tournaments that do just the 10 frames and like a strike is worth 30. Those ones, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that wild.
Yeah, so you can have 10 shots, you strike, bang, bang, 300. It's just interesting. Yeah. It's an interesting format.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Then if you go like 9 spare, you get 19 for that frame. And just move on to the next frame. There's no care. You know what I mean? It's like 30, 49. Then you just keep it weird. So
that's crazy.
It is interesting. So that's kind of our thoughts on the Shawnee Open. So going into next week, they're going to Wichita. Does Belmo break the 0 for 3 to start the season? Will he make a cut in Wichita? Yes or no? What do you say? Reigning player of the year. Hasn't made a cut yet. What are you thinking?
So
obviously, I mean, no. So he's getting into that part of his career where he's in his 40s, right? And no one really knows how long two-handers can hold up over the long course of the career. You know what I mean? So,
which is true.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Smoothed out his game more, though. It's not like he's wrenching up on the ball real hard anymore.
Yeah, and it could just be a matter of the oil patterns they're bowling on just aren't matching up to his game for whatever reason, And obviously, guys like Simonson are having some success making all the cuts and everything. Two-handed players, a lot of two-handed players are still making cuts, but it's just interesting. And who knows? As players age, then their priorities in life change, and who knows? You know what I mean?
That could be just
you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how the defending player of the year, can he come back and make his first cut of the season? I mean, I would say if this continues into 4 or 5 tournaments in, now, there's going to be some people saying, 3 tournaments, okay, 4 or 5, then we might see like what's going on with this guy. Why is he not making cuts?
So, and you said like life priorities change. Let's face it, Belmo was the best bowler in the world for a long time.
Right.
He really doesn't have anything to prove to anyone per se. He might be to the point like where we are, like time to, the game is given to him. It's probably time for him to, give what he can back to the game.
Sure.
And when you're in a position like Belmo, the good that you can do within our sport, within life, is awesome. So
and it seems like he does. You see a lot of the different stuff that he does in clinics and stuff like that. So, and you got a lot of good younger players coming up through, and Father Time's undefeated, right? So we just saw it with, I know you're not a football fan, but Tom Brady retiring. I mean, the dude's won 7 Super Bowl titles and stuff, but guess what? There's the next generation coming up through. Eventually, as you age, the younger generation is gonna take over. It's how it works. It's that way in every sport. So,
Is that how they're gonna do it, Frankie? Two-handed football throwing?
I don't think we'll see that.
No,
probably not.
No.
It doesn't go that far. It's different. It's different overhand.
Oh, it's different than bowling.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. No, but
wait a minute. It's still a one-handed release, right?
Yes, because the hand does have to come off. No, I mean we'll see Belmo, throughout the years. Just like we had great players like Pete Weber, Norm Duke, Walter Ray. So he's not going away by any means.
God, no. No. I mean, he could make a run this season and win another Player of the Year for all we know. I mean, he's capable. I think he makes his cut. I think 3 tournaments is enough. I think he makes whatever adjustments he needs to make. I don't care. He might go out there and drill a whole new bag of bowling balls for this tournament just because.
For sure.
He wants to try something different. And,
it could be simply that. Maybe he hasn't matched up.
It could be, and who knows with the changes the PBA made with the urethane balls, and companies have to change formulas, so bowlers having to get used to different hardness of equipment and stuff like that. That does make a difference when you're used to seeing certain shapes out of certain equipment, and now you have to get used to different shapes. These guys know their stuff inside and out. So
yeah, for sure.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes on, but I think he not only makes this cut, I have a sneaking suspicion we might see him on the show next week. That's just me.
Yeah, and I mean, I find, so being a coach, I do find his game fairly interesting because he is kind of innovating the two-handed game in certain different ways, and
brought to the mainstream.
Right, and so lately what he's done is not only has he smoothed out his game, but it looks like he's almost trying to eliminate that skip step, even little bit of skip step that every
stay a little bit smoother.
Yeah,
to the foul line.
Which would be interesting to see if we can get a two-hander to get
the skip step. Kind of gives you that extra power. It kind of gives you that little bit of extra shovel and that little bit of extra rev rate. You know what I mean? That's why the two-handers do it for the most part.
But if he can prove it can be done without that,
that even better.
The next step of two-handers.
We see some two-handers that are smooth, but also still have that little bit of a hitch. Colonel Sanders is a great example of that.
Yeah,
he's got that little bit of a hitch, but so smooth and more forward roll at the bottom of the swing rather than being around the side of the ball so much. There's definitely more hybrids now of that two-handed style we're seeing, and I think we're going to see even more of that as we move on. So all right, so that's our thoughts on the PBA. Any early thoughts on who might win next week? You have a prediction on a champion next week in Wichita? Who you got a favorite you like?
It's going to be a longer pattern this week. So,
they're bowling on Dragon. It's 45
foot, I think. I mean, you got to like EJ on anything right now, just because he's the hottest bowler on the planet probably right now. But you got to figure 45 feet is going to probably bring in some of the two-handers. I personally, I'm thinking Packy's got a good.
Think Packy, you can see a lefty get in there and kind of bang on it with the righties.
Well, again, Packy, smoother
two-hander.
It's on the left side, longer pattern.
Yeah.
So less transition. I think he's going to be able to stay in his bowling balls a little bit longer than the righties will. And I think Packy's got a good chance. Maybe him or Kevin Williams.
Kevin Williams had a good start to the season. He almost made top 12 this week again after a runner-up finish last week. So I like that call. I could see someone like a Tom Doherty making a run. Doherty likes the longer patterns. Someone can get in there and kind of bang on it. So I like Tommy making a run. I like Tommy Jones. Tommy Jones is someone who can play in. Or a Bill O'Neill who kind of soft wheel a little bit, especially if it'll hold for him. Prather would be another one that can get in there. So I think those kind of guys that can kind of soft wheel it. Don't even count Don Barrett out. Another guy who has good touch at the bottom of the swing. Runner up this week. So to EJ. So those are kind of the guys I'm looking at. And hey, give my boy a little AJ Chapman. I think he makes another cut this week. I think he makes another cut.
So we're always going to be behind Chapo and Nino. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Adam Jordan says he's always liked Tommy Jones on longer patterns, and I'll tell you, TJ shot a 298 yesterday, and I thought he was going to make a run to the top 12. And he made a great observation on his squad about guys starting too far in too early and kind of trashing the lanes. And boy, they got ugly last night. And he was dead on with that assessment. Tommy, one of the smarter bowlers out there for sure.
It kind of got that way today in that last round, like the position round games. Man,
absolutely.
It was ugly.
All right. Speaking of ugly, I think the 41-foot Polish Cup coming up for us next month for the Carl's World Tour, the final points tournament before the Bowl of the Year tournament. So a lot of guys trying to jockey for position in that one. So 41 feet at Bayside, depending on volume and ratios, can be kind of ugly in that building. That's in that range of you get to like 39 to 41 feet. They get kind of gross. And I think this one's going to be gross. I think you're going to see the cuts on this one be significantly lower than we saw, obviously, for the Bevida 34 tournament. I would put the cut score in that minus 50 range, minus 40 to minus 50 would be my guess for this tournament. We'll see. I mean, because you're going to have to get in a little bit. I don't think you're going to see as much hold as we've seen on some of the other patterns. I think you're going to see a little bit more hook inside than you're used to seeing. And if those gutters aren't playing, it could be for a long day.
Yeah, absolutely. And 41 feet probably, I mean, it should put, you would think, 5 board out. It should put out of bounds.
It should. You never know at Bayside. I mean, depending on, ratios and volumes and all that stuff.
If it was one of our patterns at 41 feet, 5
That's true.
now, it would be
Right,
out
it
of
would be out
bounds.
of bounds, right?
So we can't speak for the Polish Cup.
Well, on
Probably not
the
as
water
equal as
pattern, I
us.
think it was like 10 board out was out of bounds almost.
Well, that was a special.
That was a burger with all the special
Yeah,
sauce.
so that we kind of outdid ourselves with that one.
Yes.
Actually, I got to talk to you about that. I talked to Hungus a little bit more about next year's Scotch on the Rocks. And
Perfect. Yeah. So we're working on some stuff for that, too, by the way. But so what's your prediction for the Polish 41 cut? I'm thinking -40 to -50. Are you kind of of the same mindset on that?
Exact same mindset.
Okay.
I was thinking that it's going to be -41 because it's 41.
41 foot, one pin under for every foot.
Yes,
All right, I like
yeah.
it. All right, so that's coming up. What's the date on that one? March 12th, right? March
Yes.
12th, I believe.
Yeah.
So entries are, I think it's full, the waiting list already. So
There is, yeah.
so that's great, and that's awesome. So we had just touched on it last week. You use the track archetype this Sunday to help you get into the cut. I've gotten some games on the Hammer Envy Tour, not this last week because I've been broken, but like the motion of it, I actually might change the cover on it to actually see if I can either get it to start up quicker or even be even cleaner. Like just trying to see the difference between the stock and
See what it does,
see what it
yeah.
does between the three different surfaces. So you know me, I love to play with ball surfaces, but those are available the 23rd from Bullet Builders Pro Shops. You can pre-order those now, and along with the other new releases that are coming out. So from the brands of Brunswick. All our tournaments are on tournamentbowl.com. Don't forget the FDDS pattern library. We have a ton of patterns in there now. If there's something that your center is interested in downloading, for if you have an on-boil machine, very easy to do. We can get those for you. You can make your bowlers beat their head against the wall too. We're all for it. So all the streaming for all the events, including the Carl's World Tour, done on the FDDS channel. We will have the coverage also of the Hungus 8K event again this year. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm working on trying to get a bunch of player interviews and stuff for that. So we're definitely going to have like a little preview show thing for that right before the event. We're going to have some pretty cool people in studio, I think, for that. So
yeah.
So Adam Jordan says, I thought out of box is what you're supposed to have. No comment on that one. So Frankie gave himself a
Okay,
try.
all right. Here's the deal. If you want to use the ball out of the box, use it out of the box, and then determine what you want to hit it with.
Well, there's some people that think box finish only. I think that's what he was getting at.
Yes, I can understand to a certain extent, maybe in certain times when that would be.
I'll just put it this way: there's a reason when you watch PBA Tour tournaments, the reps are walking around with Avalon pads in their hand.
100%.
So that's all I'm going to say.
When you can use them, you do use them. When you're not able to hit the ball with the pad, then that's why you have other balls.
That's why you have other balls. Absolutely. So also, I updated today the missed FDDS Carl Series title archive is now updated online. I believe we now are up to 139 titles on there. I'm super excited when we hit the 150 title plateau, which is awesome. Just since 2009. So it's a who's who in the history of bowling for the tournaments that I've been involved with, and now obviously you're involved with, and Hungus are involved with, all kind of melted together into one pot, and it's separated from each tournament series as well. So there's our tournament series, there's the Carl series, and there's the Mist on there. All that stuff is separated, and we have a combined titles list too. So which is really cool. So all that stuff is on.
Is the match play still considered under the Mist list, though?
It is. Yeah, okay. It is. It's on the Mist for Mist titles. It does have its own separate section as well, just for Mist match play champions. So, but yeah, that is under the Mist, still under the Mist thing. So there is titles still being added to the Mist, just one a year at this point. Yeah. But we got between the Mist, us, Hungus, we're talking 13, 14 tournaments a year. Right now. So we'll blow by that 150 next season easily. Yeah. So,
and that's just the ones that we run out of Bayside. Never mind the stuff that we could be bowling on the other side. So
absolutely,
we are kind of stretching ourselves pretty thin, running them, but we love doing it. If you guys keep showing up, that's why we do it.
Right. I mean, we fill each event, and as long as we're filling events and bowlers are happy with it and they like what we're doing, we're here for you guys for sure. So, but definitely. Check out that titles archive. Some stuff in the works that's associated with that titles archive on the horizon. So just keep your eye out for that. And you can get our signature jerseys from Rift Apparel. Don't forget about that. RiftApparel.com going across the bottom of your screen. I'm actually working on a couple new customs myself right now.
Yep.
Should have some information out for those for pretty soon. Pretty excited. One of them's pretty much already done. We're just working on one of the things for it, but I get to show Ding Dong my idea for those. So pretty cool to have some more signature jerseys coming out. And if you want a Frankie and Ding Dong jersey, just like Nesquik has and like we have with the Frankie and Ding Dong logos all over it, just get a hold of Rift Apparel and they'll take care of you for sure. So
yeah. I'm going to be working on some soon too. I've actually we got our high school jerseys of Bayside
those are great
through Rift, and I'm actually working on another little special project for youth that might come through with Rift Apparel. So and then I'm gonna, once we're done focusing on that, I'm gonna focus on my own.
Which is great. For sure.
So but gotta get the youth stuff done first.
The youth season winding down here. You gotta get that, all
that's top priority. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So look at that. You didn't have any munchkins tonight. There's munchkins in here.
We still have we still get to watch the.
Oh, that's right. We got On Patrol live after this to watch. Yeah, we watched that. That's we call it Paw Patrol. So that's our Friday night
dirty
thing.
Laundry shit.
It is.
That's
true.
Play bingo.
The Dregs of Society. Dobbit.
Riding dirty trifecta.
Dobbit, baby. So, well, I think we got to everyone's comments. If anyone had anything last minute, please throw it in here. We'll get it up on the screen for you. Adam Jordan was just had laughing emojis. It's hilarious. So. So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Another great Fridays with Frankie segment. Jeez, I'm crow. It's been a long week. And thank you to everyone who reached out to me this week, checking in on me, seeing if I was okay with my hip injury and everything. And that was a bad fall. And I'll tell you, I'm pretty lucky to just get away with some whiplash and some nerve impingement and a bulging disc out of that. It could have been much worse. I was just glad it wasn't a fracture. So, so feeling a lot better now. It's been 4 days since it happened. And hopefully by next Tuesday, I'll be feeling good enough to hit the lanes again.
So see you next Tuesday, is that what you're saying?
Oh, Brian Gaskill saying, hey guys, late arrival. Have to watch on replay. See you soon. Gaskill, hey, by the way, great bowling by you last week as well. And had I not broken my hip, I would have definitely been in for a doubles and trios this weekend for you down in Rhode Island. But I was busted as of Monday. So definitely I was out for anything this weekend. So good luck this weekend, Brian, if you're bowling doubles and trios down there in Rhode Island. So I hope you bowl well.
Yeah, it was a great time bowling with you.
Always is. Yeah, we love Gaskill. I don't know if you watched the telecast or not, but I've now officially claimed you as ours, just because you're such a great supporter of ours and you come up and bowl all of our events. That I was saying that one of the great all-time NEVA bowlers and New England bowlers, Brian Gaskill, but he bowls up here so much with us, and we love Brian so much that I have now claimed him as ours. He's now ours.
A Frankie and Ding Dong bowler.
He's ours. Right, he's ours now. So
he stepped up from NEVA bowler
to FDDS, FDDS KWT bowler. So, I love Brian. So. He's bowling doubles with old Jimmy and Grind and Gaskill. That's a fun team.
Yeah.
Converted Mainer, he says. There you go. Attaboy. Oh, wait, you're going to say Maine, you can't say ER. It's going to be an AH at the end. You're going to say it correctly.
When you're ready to bowl the real hard stuff,
that's when you come. You move up. You move up a little bit. Not this 4-1 USBC considered sports shot stuff. That's twice as. That's like ice cream compared to FDDS stuff.
No, it's good, and
it's
love
fun. It's just all we don't
wanting to challenge themselves. Like look at Monroy coming up.
I love it. Yeah, Chris had a great time. Him and I talked a little bit, and he had a blast, and it was awesome to see him come up here and bowl with us. And even if it's once a year, that's fine.
That's
awesome. It's cool to see these guys.
Come up and actually challenge yourself a little bit harder than what you see down there.
Yeah,
for sure. With a crowd of people that you're going to have probably a lot more fun than you'll have down there.
Music's cranking, everyone's just rooting for each other.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time.
Bowling. We love
you're bowling for a bunch of money still. Like in the Carls, it's $1,000. That's good money. And and our events are a little bit cheaper, but we like to, we still pay $600 to $700 for first place, even for only a $60 entry. So that's pretty good money too. So.
And it doesn't matter if you're bowling for that $1,000, you're bowling in that title match. If you're bowling
and
well,
people are going crazy. I mean, you heard the hollering and hooting that was going on behind Storm and Crazy Train in that match. Totally. It was awesome.
Yeah,
we love that stuff.
Yeah,
we want more of that. We love crowd involvement. We love people cheering for each other, and that's what it's all about. No one cheers against people. It's just cheering for people.
Yeah.
And you know
whether
what?
you're bowling against them or not,
Doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when
And
you're
that's
bowling
what it
against
should
them, I'm
be.
cheering for my opponent. I want
Yeah,
them to make
absolutely.
good shots and force me to make good shots, and that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah. Earn that money and have fun doing it.
Absolutely. So thank you everyone for coming in tonight. Thank you for tuning into the show. Obviously, it'll be saved on our Facebook page. You can go and rewatch that. It'll be on our YouTube channel. You can rewatch it there. The Twitch feed, I think once it ends, it ends. Like you can't go back and watch it there. But, it's there anyways. So, I mean, if you see it live there, great. If not, it's in the multiverse of madness somewhere. I don't know. So
I don't know what happens here.
Yeah, we don't know what happens with Twitch. Twitch is a whole different animal. But
we got it going for you.
But we got it. Yeah, it's on there. If you happen to use that medium.
If you're feeling twitchy, twitch it up. You can still comment.
It makes me twitchy sometimes. So, all right. So, lots of love to everyone tonight, and good luck to the youth bowlers this weekend. Good luck to everyone bowling. If you're bowling the NEBA down in East Providence this weekend, there's a doubles and trios event. Good luck to all of the bowlers down there, especially our bowlers that bowl obviously Grindham Gaskill and old Jimmy down there bowling. I hope you guys kick some ass and bowl well. And anyone else going down bowling this weekend, please represent well and let us know how you do, and we'll give you a shout out next week right on the telecast for sure. So
yeah, use states this weekend.
Use everything going on. So for King Ding Dong, I am Frankie Avalon. Much love to everyone, and we will see you guys next week on another edition of Fridays with Frankie.
Get the kids in the